Pac-12. Listen, we're college sports is in a unique place in terms of where we are with NIL and revenue sharing. We believe that football is critically important at UConn. And we believe that football can be very, very successful at UConn. So I understand those conversations that are going on externally. But I have very little influence on those things. By the same token, there's not a better fit than the Big East for UConn from a basketball standpoint. It's a perfect fit between both parties. But I understand when those things are going on, just the way college sports has changed, and it's going to continue to change.
When you're back to back,
I'm just a coach, man. I think the reason why we have been able to be as successful as we've been able to be is that I haven't, even though I end up doing a lot more things and showing up in a lot more places in terms of media or things of that nature, I stay focused on recruiting. I stay focused on becoming a better coach. I stay focused on running the program. Things like those decisions, those are in the hands of the president of our university, the athletic director, Dave Bennett. And for me, I just try to focus on the day-to-day, just trying to make sure my program is at a championship level. And I really, did I have conversations with Val while that was going on? Yes, I did. And, I expressed, how important it was, for me, and or how much I love being in the Big East with her, and that obviously it's a unique challenge with revenue sharing and TV contracts and everything right now. We're in a very unique position because we do believe that our football program can become an excellent football program.
Pretty good voice to the fact that the committee only took 3 Big East teams last year, and that you felt that they had really missed the boat on it.
Yeah.
Are there things that are different this year that you think will prevent that from happening again?
Well, I could already see it in the AP. I could already see it in the AP poll, the lack of respect that the Big East gets from that standpoint. I don't know what was Creighton with. We should have 5 teams minimum in the top 20. We should be obviously, how I feel about the rankings based on what we were able to do back-to-back years. Marquette should be highly ranked, Creighton should be highly ranked, Xavier should be highly ranked, like what Sean did with that roster. And the fact that Sean's one of the best coaches in the country, so you got those 4, you got what St. John's has done with their, we should all be ranked in the top 20. I don't know how many of those teams are ranked in the top 20. Creighton should be going into the season top 10, so should Marquette. But the league just, we got buried by the committee last year. That was clear once the tournament started, based on those results. So, it's not, I don't know if we have a strong enough voice in that room. I don't know who's representing us in that room this year in the Big East. I'm just focused on winning my games, winning our games at UConn so we can play our way in. But I guess when there's just a bunch of, athletic directors or administrators and people, from the big football conferences in that room, there's not a lot of people that are supporting what is the best basketball conference in the country. We are. The Big East is. Yeah, Alex does a shitty job drawing attention to himself. Besides winning championships and accomplishing what he's accomplished in his career, if he was more, if he did more TikToks and if he did more things to draw attention to himself, he would have solidified his preseason All-American status with the AP. Which to me is just, you're rewarding the wrong things if you don't reward a back-to-back champion, 2-year starter, one of the best players in the Big East, a guy that I'm sure was up there in the voting with Paul Brenner for Big East Player of the Year. When the best basketball conference in the country, like one of the 2 best players in the league, can't get more recognition and more notoriety. We just value the wrong things in sports. We're valuing, people that are social media creations. We don't value champions and people that go about their business in the right way. But that's probably a societal issue too.
How much will you talk about the potential for the game? Have you broached it, and how much will that be?
I've talked about the historical nature of our season pretty consistently because it's the elephant in the room that is there, and you can't hide from this opportunity. That's why I've coached this team so hard. I've coached this team harder than I've coached any other team that I've had because I know the challenge that lies ahead. The level that people have studied us and how we play, and how people are preparing to beat us, and the target, and just how relentlessly you have to strive to improve to defend what we have right now.
When was the first time you mentioned
Pre-first summer practice in June. This is where we're at here. Everyone has signed on. I probably mentioned it in the recruiting process to the transfers. Liam McNeely, and the season that we're going to embark on is going to be rare in terms of what we can accomplish to literally, join those UCLA teams, from the, history of the game, historical opportunity, and how you can't give everything that you absolutely have to reach that level of sport. That's why yesterday was such a messy day in practice. You can see I'm still upset, right, about the way things went and how not up to preparing for that type of season we were as a group collectively.
Dan, you've talked about how much you motivate yourself and putting more pressure on yourself. For you to be courted by an NBA franchise, and not just any one, but multiple franchises in the sport, like for someone like Patrick, to know what to do like that.
I think you look at the whole situation, and it's validation for I think the path I've taken to this point, just all the benefits of being a high school coach for a significant amount of time, coaching at Wagner, coaching at Rhode Island, taking all these proper steps along the way the way coaches used to get jobs like UConn, now they just that's their first job at this level. I just think I have a lot of pride just in my journey to this point, and the validation of that with that opportunity, but more so, I don't think about it a whole lot. I'm so obsessed with the next recruit that we want to get. This practice that I've got at 4 o'clock today, that I'm absolutely obsessing over how well that goes, and how locked in I am on the opener.
Talking about talent coming back in this process, for you guys to go through almost the same kind of season together and be each other's what's that relationship with you guys?
We have a unique connection. I think me and Alex Karaban are wired the same way. We think about our family, and then we think about basketball. And then we go back to thinking about our family, and then we think about basketball more. and then, I may pray. And then I'll think about basketball again, or my wife again. I mean, we don't have a lot of extra space in our lives for anything that doesn't involve our pursuits in basketball and our family, and that's why we're so connected at the hip. And I don't know that I'll ever have a relationship. Just these unique human beings I've had a chance to coach these last couple of years, the Klingons, the Cam Spencers, the Jordan Hawkins, the Andre Jacksons. If we keep getting the right type of people, we're not going to go anywhere.
Dan, did you watch the Lakers game last night, or did you have time for it? Did you have any thoughts watching that?
No, I went to dinner. With my wife and my oldest son, Danny, who works for Scutari over in Jersey. He's an
Coach, how did your players respond to the whole Lakers process, and then how was that to inform them at your stay?
Yeah, they were for a couple days. They were in a tough spot. Zach got cut off there. Huh?
Got cut off. Did you have a better answer?
No, we had a nice dinner, and then I went and caught the second half because I saw some of the stuff that JJ was running in the preseason. He was running some really good stuff offensively. So I tried to get back to my hotel room so I could try to steal some things from him. That's what all of us coaches are doing. So.
Do you think Ronnie would benefit from some G League time?
Sorry, I forgot what you said. You just.
Talk to any other coaches about, I mean, it's happened so infrequently, but I don't know, Billy Donovan yet about what it's like to try to win
the third year. No, I think, Coach K, obviously, Billy Donovan, the people that, the ones that have had a shot at it. But they're just mentors anyway of mine that I'll talk to, if I have a situation like I did this past summer or what have you. But it is such a unique position to be in. And ours is so different because, we're returning basically no one. It's crazy to see the amount of players that we've cycled through. And then you have players in our league that like played against Josh Carlton. You know what I mean? And they're still in the league, and we're so many players removed from just 2 years ago. So it's so unique, the position we're in.
What does it say about your depth and the fact that Aiden gets named third team, preseason third team, and he might not even start for you guys?
Yeah, in a way, I think, with the transfers, this is obviously, there's adjustments that they've got to make because of the work rate, the intensity, environment, how we play every possession. For anyone that comes into the program, particularly a college transfer, who's done it a much different way, it's almost different than a high school player that you recruited and hasn't been in college before. It's almost easier transition, even though they're less experienced players. So, I guess you could look at it two ways, right? You could say we must be really good if a guy that's a really good player, like Aiden, did not start the exhibition game, where the quality around him is good enough for him to be in an off-the-bench role in the first one. But you could also be saying to yourself, like, we really needed this guy to come in and play like Tristan, play like Cam. So you could look at that one of two ways.
How's the name coming on?
Liam is getting healthier. I think it's going to be a 2 to 3 week injury, maybe a little bit longer. Calf is something you don't really want to mess with.
So is it kind of incumbent on that? Hopefully he'll be healthy for Maui more so than just leaving open or anything like that?
I think just getting him back as soon as he's healthy, and I think he needs reps. And you saw that Steph struggled. Castle was a much different player once he got a lot of reps under his belt. The player that he was beginning of the year, middle of the year, to end of the year was much different type of situation. So Liam needs the reps. Liam's further ahead than Steph was coming in, but where Steph got at the end of the season, his performance in the Final Four solidified his top 5 standing.
Dan, how much do you think being the winningest player or one of the winningest players,
Is it my responsibility to figure out who gets to ask, or is it Bobby Mullen?
No.
All right, sorry.
Come to me, it's you.
It's me. It's my fault.
How much do you think Alex is driven by the idea of being one of or being the winningest player?
I don't think enough. If I was him, I'd be running around screaming at people. I would be running around. If I had on the line what he has on the line this year in terms of standing in sport, claim to career, the things he's trying to do from a draft standpoint, I would get more lockstep in terms of it becoming more of an Alex-led team. Alex is incredible, lead by example, work ethic, just knowing where to be, just like he's on point every way, but more like on his teammates right now, holding other people accountable more, which is tough for this generation because, we've made people softer. We've made particularly young men, we're making them softer by not holding them accountable more, by not, giving them tough love. Obviously, there's a lot of relationship building and trust that has to be formed before you can really be tough on people and drive them and push them to be their best. But, I think that if I had on the line what he does right now, I'd be breathing fire on a daily basis.
So that's your challenge to him for three.
Yes, both in here, because I know he's going to see this, and I'm communicating to my team and to him through you people.
He said he still sees pictures of his his red shirt year. He says, first of all, he looked ridiculous without it being.
I look like Ichabod Crane, man. I look like the Headless Horseman, man.
What else do you remember about that early acclimation period for him and just his evolution since?
Yeah, I mean, he just his ability to pick up concepts and process the game, the how simple he kept his life. Like I said before, it's his education, it's his family, and it's basketball. And he's not caught up in NIL and agents and getting more followers or posting videos. I mean, a guy just wants to win. He wants to get better. He wants to be a great basketball player. He wants to win championships. He wants to do his best. I mean, I guess it's boring, for people.
Coach Hurley, you're going into the season back-to-back champion.
Yeah.
With a possible three-peat, how are you approaching this upcoming season because of that? Like, there must be some sort of pressure to keep that success going.
No pressure. No pressure. No, in one way, I guess you look at it, you say to yourself, in a weird way, you probably say to yourself, all right, if we don't win 3 in a row, what are people going to say? You suck as a coach, you could only win 2 in a row, so it's like a small part of you. But you spend so much time obsessing over where your team's at, and in my mind, every year, no matter what we've accomplished before, if you're the coach at UConn and you have the resources that are poured into your program, that I have poured into mine, and the way the school has invested in me in terms of my contract, that I owe it to the people that invest in me and invest in these players to literally drive the people around you to places that you don't think that they can get to in such a pathological, sick, obsessive way that you're just pursuing the championships so freaking hard, you're not even thinking about the three-peat pressure because you're so obsessed with the process.
Coach, how important is it to have Alex back from a leadership standpoint?
Yeah, I'd say Alex returning just put us in a position where we realistically could go into the season saying we have a chance to have the same goals, which is to win the national championship and win the Big East regular season and the tournament. If he doesn't return and we've got to go into the portal and get kind of an Alex Karaban type of player, it more than likely would have been just too much to overcome for us, losing 5 starters to the NBA. I guess maybe with just losing 4 starters to the NBA, we still believe, based on everything we lost the year before, losing 3 with 2 key bench pieces, that we're not in uncharted territory. We're very comfortable having lost a lot because we just lost a lot and we're even better.
We're down 10 minutes left, guys, and we have to move about 10 minutes.
Coach, how was that process with the Lakers for your players, and how did you communicate with them that you were returning?
I think the process for the players was a tough one to go through, I think, for a couple days. But it's not the worst thing for young people to go through uncomfortable situations. It's going to help them deal with a lot of more uncomfortable situations that will come up in life. And then, beyond that, I think it shows a commitment that I have to them. It shows a commitment that I have to UConn. It shows a commitment that I have to the people in that room.
Dan, so
Thank you,
years
Coach.
ago,
Gotcha.
you came in here and said something to the effect of sort of being haunted by the Big East tournament the year before. now obviously you have a completely different relationship with this building, and you're introduced as a future Hall of Famer. I guess when you look back on the last 2 years, how crazy is it to see the rise of your own brand, I guess you can call it?
Yeah. I think just to where the program has gone, but it took the failure. It took, we did a lot of things right. I mean, we culture check, defense, toughness. I think we ran a lot of good things on offense too those years that we were early exit from the NCAAs and came up short in the Big East tournament in the regular season. But we were doing a lot of things great. We just weren't championship caliber because we had vulnerabilities in our attack. We had holes in our approach. Most of them I think were roster construction. I think there were also too the type of people, personality-wise, the pedigree. Bringing in individuals that could handle the pressure of March and the pressure of playing at UConn. Not everyone could play for me, not everyone could play at UConn and thrive and succeed. The intensity of the program is enormous, and the pressure to perform in March is very, very enormous. It's different than playing in a place where just getting to the tournament and winning the first round game, everyone's throwing you contract extensions and flowers. That's not this place. You have to be a champion here to be remembered and to be celebrated. And I think we zeroed in on the type of men that could be successful here and more recruiting offensive players that could score and could run complex offensive systems and make plays, and then we'll teach them how to play defense. Was probably a philosophical shift.
So Yale won the Ivy League title last year. Are you guys going to play them? Do you want to have them on schedule for the true Connecticut State Championship on the Nutmeg State bragging rights?
Like you want us to go play in the state tournament?
No, well, Yale and New Haven,
Yeah. Listen, I would love to schedule all the games that people want us to play. It's, when you're us and you play 6 major non-conference opponents like we have, and then 20 Big East wars. You play those other 5 non-conference games the way it makes sense for UConn.
So Dan, what was it like to play against Rhode Island the other day?
Rhode Island, playing Rhode Island was
weird.
It was bittersweet because place means the world to me, and just seeing the players walk through the lobby with kind of with our roadie. It hit different, and it was great to share the court and the arena with people that I remember and love.
So Dan, pretty loaded. Dan, what's it feel like being in the first Hall of Fame?
I got you.
What's it feel like being in the first Hall of Fame in Hudson County? Because everybody was looking for you, but your dad made the speech.
Yeah, I mean, my dad accepted the Hudson County. That meant a lot. Jersey City means everything. Jersey means everything. Hudson County, and I don't. It was very flattering.
How does that Jersey toughness help you for the next level?
It doesn't seem like he's ready to retire anytime soon. With this current landscape, can you imagine ever being 72 and still doing this?
Me personally, no, I could not. But I don't think that you'll see that from me. But I think it speaks to I think the changes make it possible. I think Coach, going and coaching coaching overseas for a little bit, and then coaching at Iona kind of, I think, rejuvenated him maybe a little bit in some way. And then I do think, being able to do a lot through the portal and create a really strong team, the coach was able to put together a great roster, and being able to do that not by recruiting high school players and kind of developing them over years the way kind of we all had to do it. I think maybe the way that the portal works could give a little bit more longevity, as crazy as the game is. If we get a little bit more structure in place, coaches like Coach Pitino could go a little bit longer. But we need structure, or else people are probably going to get out.
How are you and Rick? I mean, obviously last year there was some talking back and forth, some contentious. I mean, when you see him recruiting, or even today, is everything cool? Or?
Yeah, listen, we're all competitors. Obviously, we all want to beat each other's brains in. I personally don't think a whole lot about my relationships with the people I compete against. It just, maybe I'm ignorant that way, but I never really think about whether these guys that I have been hired to beat like me. But I mean, I have a lot of respect for Coach Pitino. I have a lot of respect for our roster of coaches. I think it's the best roster of coaches in college basketball, and it's the best conference in the country. And people that lay claim to being the best conference in best basketball conference in the country without a championship trophy, evidence of natties. I don't know how you could stake claim to that when we've got 4 in the last 8 years.
What do you like
and
about,
back to back.
Last 2 guys.
How do you think that the New Jersey toughness has helped you with the Big East?
You guys just, Dave, you said something about
I just said Marquette. I guess you voted for them. You can't vote for your own team, but
yeah.
What do you like about them, and why?
It was tough. I think it was like Creighton. It was Marquette. I really love Xavier. What Sean's done. Obviously, you know, Sean's one of the best coaches, just like Mac, just like Shaka. We were torn between probably Creighton and Marquette. Maybe what put him over the top was, just bringing back more guys, and then the fact that we played them in the Big East Championship, and they were the champs the year before, which I feel like you earn extra in those polls when you.
How has New Jersey toughness helped you next level? You've been very open about that.
What's that?
How has the Jersey toughness helped you? Every repeat NCAA champion going back to the UCLA dynasty has had major contributors from New Jersey. With your, how you came up working with your dad at St. Anthony's and St. Benedict's and all the way up. How does playing against CBA, St. Pat's, all that prepare you for the Big East?
You grew up in New Jersey, I think in North Jersey in particular. Just the culture of basketball. It's just great coaching. I mean, the coaches that you play for here, the Bob Hurleys, the Kevin Boyles, UB Brown, the people that have coached and played basketball in the state. And there's the state's blue collar. It's a blue collar state. It produces really tough people. The place that I grew up is an incredibly diverse place. So it's a tough place. It's a diverse place. People are real with you. It's not a fake place to grow up. I mean, if you're doing bad, people tell you suck. If you're doing great, they tell you you're doing well. It's not a place where soft people come from. Tough people come from Jersey, and you're either tough or you move.
Dan, you got a pretty loaded recruiting class already. What's your goal with this class here?
Yeah, we've lost a lot of high-end talent. I think that this recruiting class for us in 25 is to bring in high-end talent, players potentially that will be early entry-level players that we can bring into this class that we identify that way in 25 and 26. I mean, we've just lost 7 NBA players over the course of 2 years, which is a lot. So we've got to replenish that high-end NBA talent. So Kamani and Luke know what they've been tasked with.
Coach, talk about
Thanks, guys. I got to pull them. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Coach.